are you helping him? I just don't get it. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this.
Well, guys, things are not going so well for Bronny James. As you guys know, he debuted in last night's game against the Philadelphia 76ers, which is the worst time to debut a rookie that, let's be honest, the whole NBA doesn't believe should be there, nor do they believe he belongs. And you did it in the city of brotherly love right now when emotions are very high. The Eagles are in the Super Bowl. And the 76ers may be trash right now, but guess what? They're not about to let LeBron James and Bronny James Jr. come in there and dismantle them, guys. It was a blowout. It was horrendous. Stephen A. Smith and the First Take crew completely call out LeBron James to cease fire on this whole Bronny James situation. Let's get into it, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, thumbs up, like the video. Let's go.
Just him giving us energy, I think, was the goal. I maybe put him in a tough spot,
As you guys can see in JJ Redick's face here, man, it's not easy coaching LeBron James and dealing with the toxicity, as Kevin Durant said, around him, okay? It's very hard for JJ Redick to do his job. He looks like he's sleepless. Just look at JJ Redick. He's trying to scratch his head. He's trying to think of every excuse under the sun. He don't want to come out and just say, well, guys, I wouldn't have played Bronny. But, of course, LeBron James is the reason that I have a job and while I am even, in this position. So, of course, JJ Redick isn't going to come out and say this. But it's so bad that he ends up still having to say a bit of the truth.
Nationally televised game and Philly, all that stuff. It's, he didn't play well, but he's been playing great, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great.
JJ Redick is in over his head. And you guys heard him say, Philadelphia had their thing going on. Yes, the city is running off of high emotion, brother. I know that LeBron James probably made a phone call and said, hey, national televised game, I'm going to blow this team away, no Joel Embiid. And LeBron James, I believe, was so cocky, so arrogant to think that he was going to be able to blow this team away because there was no Joel Embiid. He decides to call up the G League, tell Coach JJ Redick to call up the G League, call up my son and get him on national TV so we can show the world what he's been doing in the G League. Which, by the way, they cut Quincy Olivari, who was the star of the South Bay Lakers, for Bronny James, guys. So this is just karma. Let's keep going.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this.
Stop it, LeBron.
We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffies in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time. An absolutely, positively wonderful story. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong.
For someone to get on national television, man, and, plead to LeBron James to stop this, you guys got to look into just the optics of this, all right? Like, we understand that LeBron James is great, but the mental beating that this is doing for Bronny James is going to make him even more of a shell of himself, because instead of leaving Bronny James in the G League to develop, which in reality he should still be in college developing, I don't even know if he would, from the looks of it, he needs to start at the JUCO level. I understand USC, UNLA, LeBron's son, but let's be honest, man. Sometimes you have to go through the basics. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And Bronny James has been elevated throughout his whole career because of who his dad is. But the mental beating that this is putting on Bronny James is only going to make it worse. I mean, LeBron James, I understand that he got off of social media temporarily because there are a lot of things that are making him mad and angry, and he feels like the whole world is attacking him. But this isn't just bleeding, into Bronny James's legacy. This is bleeding over into your legacy, LeBron James. I mean, I know in your mind you thought, Bronny James is going to be this outstanding player because, of course, the famous tweet on March 6th, 2023, Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit lightweight hilarious. And I'm just saying, LeBron, like, do you honestly think that these players are going to forget this? You thought they forgot? Do you honestly not think that once Bronny James steps on the floor, these NBA players think that he is not worthy of this and he's going to get embarrassed every single time, whether you're on the floor with him or not? And something has to tell me deep down that LeBron James, because you don't like losing. In fact, you actually trade all of the players that make you feel like a loser. It's probably really, really hard for you to stomach the fact that your son is a lesser talent than the talent you've asked to be traded. Wow.
As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do, I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. It's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best.
Great kid.
Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds.
You guys hear that stat line? That's not a one game. That's over the course of 13 games his average. Can you guys name me anyone else in the NBA that is getting away with this? Or any other G League players that are getting called up to play in national televised games with these stats? I mean, just point me in the right direction and maybe we may have a debate or discussion here. It's insane. This is not an NBA prospect. I'm sorry, LeBron James. Great kid. Man.
You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games,
Wow.
he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field. 0 for 7 from 3-point range.
Hey, look at doggy face, man. Because if you listen to what Stephen A. Smith is saying, you really can't believe that this guy is on the roster. Mind you, in order for Bronny James to hold a roster spot, they had to cut someone or they had to cut pieces like a Quincy Alvarez. I'm praying that guy gets another chance, man. Laker Nation, I mean, the embarrassment and shame that this is bringing to that franchise, I just don't understand why. And I'm quite sure a lot of ex-Laker greats who played may feel a certain way. But, I mean, this is literally a sensitive time right now because, you know, a few days ago was the anniversary of, you know, the great late Kobe Bean Bryant. And this is in his memory. This is how we want to represent, or how that organization wants to represent what that man built, what he stood for, by this mockery, this foolery. Wow, man. This is, hey, man, y'all King James.
How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. You know what these numbers mean.
What do it mean?
You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else. What kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this?
Let me pause right there because Stephen A. Smith said a mouthful that is echoing a lot of the same sentiments that I keep telling y'all. The fact that there are hungry dogs, whatever you may want to call these guys, who are just itching and asking and begging. And your son, who is supposed to be a contributor, because if you're on a roster actively, whether that's a two-way or not, you're supposed to be actively contributing to the roster, to the team. You got all these other players who deserve this opportunity. You heard what he said, kids from all over the world. LeBron James seems to think because of who he is, he can get away with this. Maybe he feels like that, oh, when other players see me on the court with you, they're going to take it easy on you. The problem is a lot of the NBA players don't like LeBron James. That's the truth. They don't like LeBron James. A lot of the owners don't like LeBron James. A lot of people in the sport don't like LeBron James. And he's losing a lot of credibility. I'm sorry. It is the truth. Like, I don't know what else LeBron James wants from this. Understand that the legacy and these longevity records, LeBron James, after a while, like, no one cares because it doesn't equate to winning basketball. Why put Bronny James through this? Why do it? Like, why? He's more like Savannah than he is like you, LeBron James. Now, when I watch Bryce James, he seems to have a little edge to him. He seems to talk a little smack. Bronny James is a good kid. He's a good kid. Very pure, very nice, well-mannered. He don't deserve this, LeBron James. Come on, man. He don't deserve this. You can't fool us. You can't pull the wool over our eyes, LeBron James. You can't think that even your fans are going to continue to stand for this. Because at some point, everybody wakes up. At some point, we all got to be real. And what we are telling you, LeBron James, is that because of your selfish ways, you are doing more harm than help.
No, I'm not questioning LeBron James' intent as if it's dishonorable, doggy. It's incredibly honorable. It's a wonderful dad. I swear to y'all on everything I love. I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I'm simply saying to have that moment on game 1 of the NBA season is one thing. To propel it to a point where he's on the bench, he's in uniform, he's taking up a roster spot, and now you're giving him time in the first quarter, and you see the absence of production.
Mm-hmm.
How are you helping him? I just don't get it.
Neither do I, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, LeBron James thought in his mind that this was really going to work. And, of course, the media, they don't want to talk about this. It's probably... Stephen A. Smith is probably the only one besides Jason Whitlock, who, of course, has his own platform. But on these Fox Sports and ESPNs, man, they want to gloss over all of this. They'll talk racial baiting shit all day, right? Black versus white, which is extremely sensitive. But they are so afraid to criticize LeBron James. It's ridiculous. I feel like it should be the opposite way around. You hear how Stephen A. Smith is saying, I'm sorry. I swear I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You shouldn't have to say all that when it's the truth. It's the truth. LeBron James is on his last leg. He's trying to revitalize anything that'll give him any type of momentum on his NBA career. And the truth of the matter is he just will never be Michael Jordan. He has to be just okay with being number 2. It doesn't mean go out here and sacrifice the mental of your son, because that's what's going to be sacrificed. The way that they're going in on Bronny James, guys, I don't even got the time to pull up certain things on Twitter that I've seen, but it makes no sense when we all know that Bronny James is just not an NBA player, and LeBron James has to fathom this. He has to get this through his skull, and I don't even know if LeBron James cares or not. I'm being honest with you guys. I don't know if LeBron James even cares. But I do feel like, these things bleed over into your household. I mean, you're not going to want Bronny James to be a sad camper. His mental, Savannah James. I mean, to hear your son being talked about like this is your baby, your life, your heart, your soul. And if anybody should halt this, it should be LeBron James. You forced him into the league. You need to force him out. Or let the G League keep him long enough so that the media can get off of his back, so that people on social media can get off his back. Like, I think that Bronny James would have been more serviceable on another team. It's hard to play for your dad alone, but playing in front of your dad, for your dad, because he's not playing for himself, in front of the world on national televised game in a city that just broke through to advance to the Super Bowl. I mean, you got to think going out like that in front of all those other athletes, the NFL players, baseball players, celebrities there, like, that's not a good feeling. And only LeBron James can fix this, in my opinion. I don't know how they're going to do this contract stuff, but something got to give, because Laker Nation shouldn't just be Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Bronny James. In fact, Bronny James shouldn't be nowhere near the end of that sentence, if I'm being honest. But this is what their organization has reduced itself to. You got to blame Jeannie Buss, the Rambuses of the world. You got to blame all of them, because they have turned this organization into a laughing stock. And there's only so much LeBron defenders can say. It's only so much Bronny defenders can say. You guys, you got to look at the reality. And the reality is, Bronny James, I don't know if he will ever be an NBA player because I feel like he's going to suffer more mental damage, and it may take a while. Like that type of stuff. You see this happen to pro basketball players, Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons. I mean, like, I don't know, man, but I am rooting for Bronny James to figure out what really works for him. If it's going to be basketball, keep your head down, keep working. If it's going to be something else, exit the league immediately to the right, please. Like, just LeBron James for once. Don't think about your legacy. Y'all got a great photo op. Y'all got the pictures. Y'all got the memory. Kenny Griffin Jr. Yes, it was all staged, dramatic as fuck. But LeBron James, you gotta end this, man. Let me know what you guys think about Bronny James's performance and Stephen A. Smith's comments. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah.